Hello, welcome, good evening, and we are back again. This is the fourth day of the Be Productive series. That's the name I've decided to give this series. Be Productive series, and today we are going to talk about a very important topic, which is how exactly do you know what is it that you are passionate about? How exactly do you try and decide upon what you want to do in your life? If you see, when we were kids, one of the most common questions that we were asked was, "Beta, what do you want to become once you grow up?" And we had a lot of different answers. We said, at one time we said we want to be doctors, at one time we said we want to be lawyers, and then scientists, and then of course we also wanted to be superheroes, and all different sorts of wherever our imagination went, we felt that, oh yes, that is something that I can be. But then as we grew up, two things happened. One is we realized that becoming these things that we dreamt of becoming in school, in our childhood, it's not so easy. And the second thing that happened was the society stopped asking us this question. So somewhere we forgot to ask ourselves a question that is what I'm doing really the thing that I want to do? Is this the thing that I would like to be remembered for? So that is what we are going to talk about today. There's a very beautiful interview by APJ Abdul Kalam. Of course, all the interviews of APJ Abdul Kalam are beautiful, but there's one particular one which I like, which is on NDTV, which is done once he was out of his presidency years. And in that in that interview, APJ Abdul Kalam is interacting with a group of students, and he asks students that each one of you in this in the audience, what is it that you would like to be remembered for once you die? What is it that you would like to be remembered for? For example, what is it that Ajinkya would like to be remembered for once his existence on this planet Earth is done? And that is a really, really touching question, because we really have, a lot of us really have not thought about it. A lot of us have really not sat back and said, okay, let me actually think and decide that I want to do something in my life, something which I will not regret once I am old, something I want to have a life which once I am 80, once I am 70, 80, and once I sit back and look upon my life, I should not be saying that, oh God, I wish I had tried this. Oh God, this was something that I really, really wanted to do, but I was not able to do. Now, to start with, is it possible? Of course it is possible. Don't at all fool yourself by saying it is not possible. At any point in life, it is possible. There are people who have done this in the later stages of life, but if you are in the earlier stages of life, and if you are seeing this video, and if you actually are going to go ahead and do this exercise, it's actually very, very, very beneficial. So let me tell you that from any point, it is absolutely possible that you have a life which you always dreamt of, or you have a life doing something that you are extremely, extremely passionate about. Now, talking about passion, today's topic was actually not how to exactly drive ourselves towards our passion, but how do we find our passion. A lot of times I get asked कि sir, ये सब तो ठीक है, but there's one problem, and that problem is that I actually don't know what I want to do in my life. And I myself have been told by so many people that, Ajinkya, you are really lucky in a sense that you know what you want to do in your life. So how is it that you can concretize on something, and can we really concretize on something like for throughout the life? That's the topic for today. Okay, so first things first, what exactly is passion? What exactly is passion? What exactly is hobby? Why do we always have the one question which really we feel that defines us, that what do you do, what do you like doing in your pastime, what do you love doing, or what is your hobby, or what is it that you're passionate about, right? Now, a lot of us can be passionate about a lot of different things, but there's a difference between liking to do something and being extremely, extremely passionate about something. For example, you can like to watch movies, you can love to play games, you can like to play games, you can like to eat good food, but you cannot be passionate about watching movies. You can be passionate about creating movies. You can be passionate about coding and creating a game. There's a little bit of difference between them, both of them. Let me just go ahead and explain that to you. Now, first things first, what does passion and hobby and all of these things have in common? They make us feel good, right? So there's some crazy chemical called as dopamine. It gets released in our brain and then we feel good. And once we feel good, we feel content and we feel that what we are doing is the right thing to do, and let us continue doing that. Now that is when you say that when you play PUBG and you have some dopamine released in your mind, you feel, this looks good. This is something I can be passionate about, or I can like. There are two ways of feeling happy. One happens when you create something, and the other happens when you consume something, like consume something that you like. Okay, and if you see in earlier days, there's a very beautiful video that I saw on YouTube which explains this nicely. In earlier days, most of the dopamine that was released in us human beings was through creation. When we created something, when we built a boat, when we built a house, when we went out and did gardening, when we built a beautiful garden, and that all things released dopamine, and then we said, this is something that I love doing. This is something which I can say is my hobby. This is something that I'm good at, and this is something what I can say I am passionate about. But nowadays there are a lot of different things available to us which can be used to be happy on internet, which are from your games to listening music to consuming good food. Just one tap away. Good food is just one tap away from us nowadays, and which is one of the reason why we have more and more so just stopped asking ourselves this question, that what exactly should I do so that I become more happy? What exactly can I do so that I become more creative, and so on and so forth. Now, if you want to find the passion, if you want to find that one thing which you are really passionate about, and that one thing which you can spend your entire life doing and yet still not get bored, you have to start looking in the creative part. Make a list of things that you love to do. A lot of them will be in the consumption side, like I love watching movies a lot. I love binge watching, or some long list on this side. But then there will also be a few things which come on the create side. If you don't have a lot of things on your create side, don't worry. Just open up Wikipedia, just search for a list of hobbies. There are literally hundreds of hobbies. Just go ahead and read through the hobbies, and then find out the ones which seem interesting to you. Go ahead and try those things. And in this process, when you start doing these things, you will find out that you are really good at something. You are really passionate about something. You really love doing something. Maybe it's a hobby wherein you're building something up, like maybe furniture, for example, maybe coding, for example, maybe creating artworks, for example, maybe video editing, for example, maybe photo editing, for example. So each one of these hobbies are coming under the creation segment, and then go ahead and take a look at which of these hobbies is it that you can very easily monetize. One part is, of course, you want to stop what you are doing and then go back and start monetizing your hobbies. That is really a life that is like the dream life. But if that is if that is not entirely possible, don't worry. If that is not entirely possible, just go ahead and, along with the work that you are currently doing, just start pursuing this hobby as well, and gradually start making mark in the field. And that is how you find your passion. That is how you find your what is it that you absolutely love doing. The moment you start doing this one thing, you will realize that this thing really makes you happy. This is something which you can go on for hours and hours without food and without water and without any external motivation, because you yourself are really motivated to do that. So go ahead and find that one passion of yours which can which you can really stick to for the entire life, and that is going to help you decode this question. Okay, and how do you do this? You do this by also reducing the consumption part, things that you have been doing. You will not be able to find your passion properly until you reduce the things that you do in your consumption segment. For example, using of your phone, using or watching of your movies, or all those things which you have been consuming, and then finding solace in that is something that you want to stop, and that is you have to just shift from consumption to creation, and then in this process at some point you are going to find what is it that you are exactly passionate about, right? So with that, I am going to leave you today, and tomorrow we are going to talk about a very interesting topic which I feel is not so well understood around us, which is called as time management. A lot of us believe in time management. I personally don't believe in time management. I believe in priority management. So I'm going to talk tomorrow about what is the difference between time management and priority management, and why priority management is something that we should be focusing upon and not actually making of stringent schedules. Okay, so I hope a lot of you, I know a lot of you have already gone ahead and booked one-on-one personalized appointments with me on my website, but I am offering 100% discount on the range of services on my website, including CV verification, LinkedIn profile review, mock interviews, as well as startup consulting. So if you feel that you need any of these services, go ahead on my website ajinkyachoprade.com. In the services tab, you will find an option to book the services. On the checkout, use the code BEPRODUCTIVE and go ahead and book that one-on-one appointment with me. I'm going to help you in each of these things individually. Till then, I'm going to see you tomorrow, and I'm going to leave you guys today by saying sayonara.